The Rajya Sabha elections in Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh have turned into a veritable political thriller, with questions being asked as to whether the Congress can survive in Himachal Pradesh. Even as Rahul Gandhi is away at Cambridge University, his party is facing a crisis in Himachal Pradesh, the only northern state in India now where the Congress is in government. This after 6 Congress MLAs appear to have voted for the other side, alongside 3 independents who also supported Sukhwinder Sukhu's government in Himachal Pradesh. There has been cross-voting in the other 2 states as well. In Uttar Pradesh, an estimated 8 Samajwadi Party MLAs have voted for the other side. And in Karnataka, it's been the reverse kind of cross-voting, with 1 BJP MLA voting for the other side and another staying away. In the shadow of this cross-voting, the Congress, as I said, is facing a veritable crisis in Himachal Pradesh, where, denying rumors of his impending resignation, Chief Minister Sukhu described himself as a Yodha, a man at war, and said he would fight the battle till the finish. But in the meantime, other Congress leaders like Navjot Sidhu, showing Punjabi plain speak, have called for a purge of the Congress party. What does he mean precisely? And what happens next? Will the Congress lose Himachal Pradesh? What are the messages from Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka? In Karnataka, there has also been an ugly battle between the BJP and the Congress. The BJP claims pro-Pakistan slogans were raised after the victory of a Congress member of parliament in these polls. The Congress says it's all rubbish, it's lies, it's a doctored video. A lot to talk about. Let's introduce our guests on the program today as we look at the larger implications of these results and these developments. Dilip Cherian, brand guru, political analyst, commentator, is with us. Dilip, always a pleasure to have you with us. Also joining us is BJP senior leader, Dr. Dharinder Tayal. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Namaskar, sir. Tehseen Poonawala, die-hard Congress supporter with some words of criticism for the party. How will he react today? We'll find out. Also joining us is Anurag Naidu, typically a supporter of the BJP and the government. Does he agree with the kind of controversy they've raised in Karnataka? We'll find out. And Salman Soz, tasked with the tough job of defending the Congress on a difficult day for the party, is also with us as well. I will, of course, play out for you reactions that have come in from Abhishek Singhvi, from Veerbhadra Singh's son, a minister in the Himachal Pradesh government, Vikramaditya, who has also stepped down and stepped aside. D.K. Shivakumar, the Congress's troubleshooter, is in Himachal Pradesh. Salman, I'll start with you. What's the big message? The Congress is being accused of mishandling the entire situation. Some are calling Dr. Singhvi an outsider in Himachal Pradesh. Others are saying the warning signs have been ignored. After all, Vikramaditya even attended the Pran Pratishtha in Ayodhya, signaling his unhappiness. And Rahul Gandhi, in the middle of all of this, is away at Cambridge University. Your response, Salman?
I don't really understand how this is mishandling, because we have 40 MLAs plus 3 independents, and the other side is 25. In fact, if there was if this was a regular democracy, then people would say that the Congress is the ruling party. They have the numbers, and the Rajya Sabha MP would be from there. As far as Mr. Singhvi, who's a great constitutional expert, he's the kind of person who should be in the Rajya Sabha. By all accounts, on his own individual performance as a citizen, he should be there. To call him an outsider, I mean, maybe people should be looking at where BJP, not just BJP, other party Rajya Sabha nominees also come from. There is no stipulation that somebody has to be from Himachal Pradesh. And this is across parties. So the BJP is bent upon destroying a democracy in India. I think they've done its de facto. There is no democracy, as far as I can tell. They have money power. They have media power.
What do you mean there's no democracy? Your 3 members of parliament have just won in Karnataka. How would they win if there was no democracy?
Yeah, exactly. So, Barka, what I mean is that if one were to leave things to the Modi government, they would basically make sure that nobody contests against them. Their whole goal is that there should be one party. There should be a one-party system in this country. They take their inspiration from the Chinese Communist Party, and of course, when it comes to China invading us, they say nothing. So they're very smart about it. But I think what is going to happen in this country, and it's already happening, voices of dissent, voices of opposition, this opposition Mukt Bharat, the kind of phenomena that Mr. Modi and his party are unleashing in the country. Do not be surprised. By the way, I come from a state where the entire political leadership was arrested in one go. So do not be surprised if that happens to all of us.
But can I ask you a brief question before I open this up? You made two big statements. You said there's no effective democracy. If the BJP wanted, there would be nobody standing against them. But as I say, in Karnataka, the Congress has done well. Secondly, the fact of the matter is that the troubled signs, the signs of trouble within in Himachal Pradesh have been ignored for some time. I point you to Vikramaditya, who has resigned today, who attended the Ayodhya Mandir ceremony in defiance of the party line. Wasn't the Congress looking the other way? And thirdly, you talk about the BJP, playing by unfair means. There has been cross-voting in Karnataka as well. And it's just reversed. The BJP has, at least one BJP MLA has cross-voted and another has stayed away.
Barka, I'm sorry. This even-handedness is unfortunately, this doesn't really work. This does not suit you. I think the reality is that this party just in the last few weeks, according to an Indian Express report that came out today, had printed electoral bonds worth $1 billion in the run-up to the elections. $1 billion. Okay. Which now the Supreme Court said is illegal. These guys have the money, they have the media power, they have control of all the institutions. They'll send all sorts of investigative agencies after you, and they will throttle you. They'll do anything to basically make you yield. And by the way, there is no comparison between Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh. If somebody from Karnataka leaves, do not for a moment think that is because somehow the government of Karnataka or the Congress party is basically hammering them and saying, you have to join us. It is probably, maybe they're just sick and tired of the BJP for some reason. Maybe there's some personal stuff. Okay. But here, there is no comparison. So this whole business of even-handedness and I think that I think is totally ludicrous.
Okay, I let the BJP leader as spokesperson respond to that. But before I come to Dr. Tayal, I want to play out Veerbhadra Singh's son, a minister in the Himachal government, expressing great grief, saying his father's memory had been insulted. He couldn't even get a statue installed in his memory at the Mall Road, and making a whole lot of other points, but really reflecting the crisis that is unfolding in the only North Indian state in which the Congress is in government. Listen.
मैं आज केवल इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के माध्यम से ये कहना चाहता हूं कि वर्तमान परिस्थिति में मेरा इस सरकार में बने रहना ठीक नहीं है। इसलिए आज मैंने ये निर्णय लिया है that I am resigning from the Council of Ministers. मैं इस सरकार से एक मंत्री के रूप में इस्तीफा दे रहा हूं जो मैंने निर्णय लिया है।
Dr. Tayal, there has already been the Supreme Court's very scathing indictment of what happened in the Chandigarh mayor elections. But let's talk about Himachal Pradesh. Veerbhadra Singh's family was raided by tax authorities on the day that a wedding was taking place in that family. I'd be surprised if you were suddenly feeling very empathetic towards his son. What is your reaction to the Congress's allegation, both Abhishek Singhvi and Jaina Ramesh, saying that this has been done by unfair means? Dr. Singhvi used the word besharmi. Dr. Tayal, what do you say?
So very interesting, all of it. I mean, like Salman said that, those people who did not vote or cross-voted in Karnataka, they were the ones with a conscience. But the people who cross-voted in Himachal, obviously, as congressmen, had no conscience at all. So that is, who's going to buy that? And certainly he says that they've got $1 billion or something like that. I mean, this is the same Congress which has 4.8 lakh crores of scams.
That number is from where?
That number has been released by the party. You want a breakup? I'll give you a breakup. So coal scam is 1.8 lakh crores, 2G spectrum is 1.7 lakh crores, Manrega is 10 lakh crores, CWG is 70,000 crores.
I-
Challenge that, because this is
I-
ridiculous. Where the Prime Minister has been running this country for 10 years, this is all ridiculous. They
So
keep
are you
spreading
saying-
this stuff. I'm sorry, Barkha, you must challenge this because this is
No,
ridiculous.
I
Not
think
one conviction so far in 10 years.
So,
The,
Barkha, are we
the
going to
2G
out-shout
spectrum,
each other?
everybody is basically
No,
I have
I
never
think-
seen
destroying
this
that
on
to
your
stand.
channel. If you're going to out-shout each other,
okay,
you can
okay,
comfortably
okay.
do
No,
that.
no, 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 please
I'm quite
don't
capable
shout.
of doing it.
Please,
But
neither of
you,
you shout.
but you should not be.
There are no buts, Mr. Soz. Your turn will come.
Okay,
Please
Dr.
speak.
Tayal, Dr. Tayal, let me ask the question. Salman, hang on, just give me a moment. Dr. Tayal, you're taking the conversation in a different direction, in a rhetorical direction.
Barkha, I'm not
1 minute.
taking-
One
somebody-
minute. Okay, let
somebody
me.
said-
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's try
Okay.
and keep it civil and let's move on. The question that I am asking you is to now be invoking in 2024 as the BJP is hoping of a third term, scams, allegations of corruption, cases in which even the courts, the highest court, have not yet convicted anybody. We can have a debate on coal and 2G another day. Let's stay on Himachal. What do you say to the allegation that the Congress has made that basically their MLAs, this is horse trading, money power, muscle power that's being used to bring over their people to your side? Please do respond to that.
Yeah. So one thing which has been brushed under the carpet very sweetly is the fact that it is bad politics on Congress part.
Okay.
They took it for granted. He says that is not regular democracy. What is regular democracy? You feel I have the numbers, everything is okay. You can ride roughshod over your people. Today, people who are quitting, any number of people today, the paper clearly says several of the Congress MLAs have spoken to Priyanka Gandhi and said, we don't want to work under Sukhu the way he's running the state. Who is to blame? You choose. He says, you can't throw the law at me and say, yes, anybody can contest from anywhere. Sure, anybody can contest from anywhere. We all know that law. But the fact is, we need to understand the character of a particular state. Himachal, Congress came back to Himachal because Himachal has a cycle. So you have to understand what happens. Congress came back. Now in Himachal, never ever has Congress sent somebody from outside the state to Rajya Sabha. And Anand Sharma was waiting in the wings for his ticket. Now you offend your own people, you can't handle your politics. Please, a lot of times, all the gurus tell you, look within. The answers are within, look within. And what kind of a party are we talking about today? It was a party of 400 people, 400 MPs. Today we're talking about 44.
Do you believe, Dr. Tayal, before I go to Dilip Cherian, do you believe, because there is a de facto floor test for the Congress tomorrow when a key bill, a financial bill has to be voted on, is it your estimation that the BJP is seeking to form the government in Himachal Pradesh? What are you saying?
I think, although probably Sukhu was reported to have resigned and then he said, I haven't.
Yes.
So it does seem that they have lost the confidence of their own people. But there is one, Barkha, there is one part I would certainly want to respond to from what Mr. Soz said. He talked about BJP behaving like the Chinese Communist Party. Now, it is Congress which is in bed with the Chinese Communist Party. Till now, we have no clue what that MOU contains. If they were so clean with that MOU.
Which MOU?
Which has been signed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi with the Communist Party.
Okay, Salman, do you want to respond to that? And then I need to open this up. So Salman, keep it brief. Salman?
I would say that if there is such an MOU and the government of India is not aware, then the Prime Minister of this country should resign. If he cannot even get to this basic information, that shows the incompetence of the BJP, this government.
Okay.
Why are you tom-tomming your incompetence?
Okay, Dr. Tayal and Salman, hold your horses. We are not being fair to Dilip.
Just one line. Anybody, any of your viewers can just Google it. In a minute, the picture will pop up. So it is all there. In a minute, the picture will pop up.
Perhaps the Prime Minister should take some action against Rahul Gandhi, and also maybe he should take action against the Chinese, who are sitting in 2,000 square kilometers of our territory.
Okay, can I please request both of you to now allow Dilip and Tehseen to speak? They've been waiting patiently. They've heard the BJP and the Congress go for each other officially. Now let's bring in Dilip and then Tehseen. Dilip, What's the big message, right? There's been cross-voting not only in Himachal Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Karnataka. The other side, by the way, the BJP has cross-voted. At least one person has stayed away, one person has cross-voted. If the Congress loses Himachal, if DK Shivakumar isn't able to contain this crisis, and we don't know yet, the Congress is effectively nowhere in power in the north. There are larger implications here. Dilip Cherian, please go ahead.
Thank you, Barka. First, in the spirit of full disclosure, Harsh Mahajan, who is won in Himachal, is my brother-in-law. So, having said that,
Yes.
as a political analyst, what I have been watching is something that could have been predicted merely by reading the newspapers. The fact is that cross-voting, whether it is in Karnataka or in Himachal, takes place after multiple expressions of frustration with the existing state government have happened. Now, the nature of Rajya Sabha voting is that the transparency is instant. Therefore, you know who has cross-voted, who has abstained. It would really be politically foolish for anyone to say that they did not expect what happened in Karnataka or what happened in Himachal not to have happened. Now comes the issue of what goes on behind. What goes on behind is that very often, and much too often for a democracy, is the tone deafness of governments once they are elected. They just refuse to wake up and smell cordite, which is going to explode behind them or beneath them, and that is really the problem. When leaders listen to the sound of what's going on around them, for example, if you don't know that one of your cabinet colleagues is about to resign, then there is definitely a problem in the way a chief minister is running the state. If you don't expect that cross-voting will happen in Karnataka, when people as savvy as DK Shivakumar are in charge of what's going on there, then you have no reason to be surprised. So I think we need to understand that we've moved into a phase of political doublespeak across the board. So that is something that we as watchers, as media, and as citizens need to understand, and we can choose whether we want to accept it or not by voting yet again.
I think those are some great points, and that's what I've been trying to understand, that how could the Congress not have known that there was a problem with Vikramaditya when he attended the Mandir ceremony in defiance of the party line. Like you said, Dilip, and thanks for that transparency that Harsh Mahajan is your wife's brother. But the point is larger questions here, right? The larger questions are the BJP should have also expected this as par for the course in Karnataka, but Tehseen, and then I'll come to you, Anurag. I was wondering where you'd gone. I wasn't seeing you on my screen, so it's good to see you now. At Tehseen, you still feeling optimistic about anything?
There's a famous song, "Tum itna jo muskura rahe ho, kya gam hai jisko chupa rahe ho." Of how much gum, but at the onset, congratulations, Dilip. While I do want the Congress to win, families first, brothers, vice brothers, the most important in the family. So, congratulations. Trust me, I know about my vice brothers. So jokes apart, but
good one. Go on.
Jokes apart. Look, the fact is, and I've said this on your podcast, and I'm going to repeat it. The difference between Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi, if you were to do a man-to-man comparison, isn't too much of a difference. Of course, the Prime Minister has a lot more political experience, but Rahul Gandhi is fairly well-read. He has knowledge. He's been a parliamentarian for a number of years. All of those things. The massive difference, where the difference between the two becomes stark, is the support team of the Prime Minister, Amit Shah ji, JP Nadda ji, Bhupinder Yadav ji. Just look at those men. They are alphas. I don't want to speak anything about this side of the divide, but you sometimes wonder what is going on. How do you take on this man on your screen, Amit Shah ji? I mean, he is, or Adityanath ji, or JP Nadda ji. JP Nadda lost Himachal. He's come back and avenged it. The minute you had 43 MLAs and a BJP with 25 MLAs fielded a former Congress MLA to contest the election. Basic kindergarten politics tells you they are up to something. And it's JP Nadda's state. And he will want to avenge a defeat. It's a state where the Prime Minister said, and I quote the Prime Minister, "Do not look at the candidate, look at Lotus and vote for me. This is my second vote." That was, your light, your bulb should have gone on there. You should have had somebody like a Bhupinder Hooda and an Ashok Gehlot right then and there, because Ashok Gehlot had already helped Mrs. Gandhi sail through. They should have been sitting there right then and there. I understand DK could not have come because DK had to ensure that out of the 3 candidates in Karnataka, one who cannot win and whatever he had to go through. So DK had to be in Karnataka, but at least Bhupinder Hooda and Ashok Gehlot could have immediately moved to Himachal along with Rajiv Shukla, and they could have managed that situation. It is basic politics.
So you blame, who do you blame? Who do you blame?
We can cry that we don't have democracy. We can cry that we are the underdogs. The fact is, in Karnataka, we hit the BJP hard. In Telangana, we are splitting the BRS. We're completely splitting the BRS. In Andhra Pradesh, those who are against Jagan are now finding options either with the Congress or with Chandrababu Naidu, because BJP doesn't have a future in Andhra. We are doing that there. Wherever there's power, you can argue, is it moral or is it immoral? We can go into the morality argument. We are doing it there. And I've long argued politics is about being the alpha. We are no longer the alpha in politics. We are living in a vague parallel universe where we think that everybody is going to play by some moralistic rules, which is our version of morality. If morality is so correct for us, why are we doing in Karnataka what BJP is doing in Himachal? So morality can't be selective. One. Number two, we have to give back 10 times harder than what the BJP gives us. 10 times harder. And sorry, Dilip, even if it's your brother-in-law, if we have to win, the dharma is we have to win. Hook or cook, sam, dam, dhanbed, we have to win. Are you telling me that we did not know who the people close to Vikramaditya ji were? We didn't know if those phone calls were made. The chief minister, along with Hooda ji and Gehlot ji, hypothetically, could not have had meal, promised them a ministryship. There are lots of things. If you're chief minister of a state, you're a king of a state. You can do a lot, but you must be able to do it. One last thing. I think the Congress should really think, one last thing. Why are talented people like Sachin Pilot, and etc. not there, and who are the people who are now running the show? I think it should reflect upon it. You started with a comment of one of the leaders from Punjab. He is the reason why
Sidhu. He's calling for a purge. He's calling for a purge.
He is the reason who purged Punjab. He purged Punjab. We lost captain to Sidhu. I think we should pause and think and take a step forward.
Okay, hang on. Now, you've said a lot of things. Before I want to take it back to Dilip, but first, Anurag has been waiting very patiently. And Anurag, I have a question slightly outside of Himachal, also connecting the dots to Karnataka. The fact is that I think as both Dilip and Tehseen have made this point, the cross-voting, when the Congress is determined to fight, it does fight. It has fought in Karnataka. It has ensured the cross-voting of one legislator, ensured another legislator stays away. In turn, we've seen a kind of unseemly spat breakout between the BJP and the Congress. The BJP claims pro-Pakistan slogans were chanted after the win of one of the members of parliament, Nasir Hussain. The Congress says bilkul jhoot and so on. If you were looking at the larger picture, what do you take away?
Well, Barkha, although Tehseen covered for all of the points, but you made a very interesting point. Barkha, you said Congress, wherever Congress feels like fighting, they fight, whether it's Karnataka or Telangana. But, there's a mistake in understanding, Barkha. Congress doesn't fight here. It is one person called DK Shikumar who picks up the fight for himself. In Telangana, it is Revanth Reddy. You know what Revanth Reddy said in the recent statement? Then KCR said that he's going to in Telangana. Revanth Reddy openly in a media interview said, I challenge them. If he can run faster than me, I challenge him. If he's going to poach, I'm going to poach 100 of his. So that's a kind of bold statement which Revanth Reddy made. No other leaders in Congress. So the Congress high command, whether say, for example, let's say number 2 in BJP. You're talking about number 2 in BJP. Who is number 2, number 3, number 4 in Congress? Who is only around the Gandhi family or one person who wants to be visibly seen around Rahul Gandhi, Mr. K.C. Venugopal, who's supposed to be coordinating the elections. You have nowhere to be seen. And Barkha, let's also understand, even if somebody like Abhishek Singhvi in Himachal, right, he has been nominated by the High Command. There is a culture that High Command ne bol diya, Sukhu dekh lega, mera kaam ho gaya. It reminds me of Ahmed Patel's Gujarat election, that the nail-biting finish. I still remember, Barkha, the two votes were there for NCP and Praful Patel was coordinating. the heavy phone calls from Amit Shah and Ahmed Patel. One vote was needed. One more vote, Ahmed Patel would have lost. I mean, I don't want to go into the story, but I'm saying everything, Mr. Singhvi should have gone to Himachal, sat with Sukhu, by whatever the differences I know, but this seat is important for me. Whatever it takes, let's fight it out. I will talk to each and every MLA. I will give them whatever they want. I will facilitate, but we need to win. Mr. Singhvi cannot sit in Delhi telling that High Command and dekh liya. So this is a kind of a culture that we see in Congress, and that is why
in a way, you're blaming Dr. Singhvi for his own.
Also,
loss.
Yes, of course, he's got the nomination. He should have been sitting with Sukhu. He should have fought his own election. That's fine. I mean, there are differences. Everyone knows that Vikramaditya is not happy right from the day Sukhu was made the chief minister.
Do you want a sentence there? I want to play out Dr. Singhvi's statement and then come to Dilip. Yeah, Tehsi? Yeah.
While I agree with what Tushar is saying on the organizational general secretary, particular Ahmed Patel ji, Dr. Singhvi was in Shimla. He was in Shimla for the last 2 days. He, including yesterday, he was in Shimla, and 2 days prior to that, he was. I noticed for a fact because a matter of mine he had to appear on. He had to recuse himself, he had to hire Mukul because he was in Shimla. I noticed for a fact. Also,
okay,
Anurag,
complete your point briefly. I want to play out Singhvi's statement.
Barka, it's very naive to say कि मैं 2 दिन पहले election के गया. Election does not happen in like 2 दिन पहले या 3 दिन पहले. There was no battle for Mr. Singhvi. And when he has numbers, he should have been putting the whole team sitting in his office. कैसे number लाए?
Here's what Abhishek Singhvi had to say. He used the word Bisharmi. He was obviously very agitated. Take a look.
कोई पार्टी 25 और 43 के आंकड़े या इक्वेशन में 25 वाली पार्टी 43 वाले के विरुद्ध उम्मीदवार खड़ा करती है तो उसका सिर्फ एक और एक ही संदेश हो सकता है. और मैं हर्षवर्धन जी की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं इस चुनाव की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं एक सिद्धांत की बात कर रहा हूं. वो संदेश है कि हम बेशर्मी से वो करेंगे जो कानून में अनुमति जिसकी नहीं है. अगर आप समझते हैं कि एक व्यक्ति या 2 व्यक्ति या 9 व्यक्ति अचानक एक नई नीति, एक नई सोच, एक नई आइडियोलॉजी के अंतर्गत कल रात के डिनर और आज सुबह के नाश्ते के बाद बदल गए हैं तो मैं समझता हूं कि हम सब, जो अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, एक फूल्स पैराडाइज पे रहते हैं.
Dilip Cherian, do you want to take that? Is this about principles, or are those principles as corroded on all sides? Salman would say that is even-handedness that doesn't suit me. What do you say?
I think that what Abhishek Singhvi said clearly shows that here was a man who was expecting principles of the kind that we haven't seen in play in politics for quite a long time to suddenly come to his rescue. Foolish. Second, the fact is that, you cannot be sitting in Delhi and expecting the High Command and a extremely disoriented Sukhu to win the battle for you.
Why do you call him disoriented? Can you elaborate on that? Disoriented Sukhu?
You have to be disoriented to not see that when a Harsh Mahajan files his nomination for Rajya Sabha, you know that this is a man who has deep and truly strong relationships in the Congress, which is where he was for many years. So you should actually be pressing panic buttons with all your fingers. Did you see that happen? No, you did not. Most people who watched it said that they assumed that there would not be that kind of cross-voting, which eventually happened. And let me say that this indicates not just disorientation, but also a high level of, shall I say, arrogance of power, that I am here, everybody is going to follow me. The High Command has made me the chief minister, and therefore everybody better shut up and fall in line. It isn't the way politics is happening now in any state under any party.
Salman, and then Dr. Tyal. Salman, a lot has been said, but the basic upshot seems to be, how did Sukhu not see this coming? 1. 2, don't make a moral argument if you're going to deploy the same approach where you can, i.e. Karnataka.
I still believe that there is no comparison between what is happening. The whole politics in India is basically asymmetric, right? There is no level playing field in this country as far as the electoral process is concerned. Whether we can all say that the Congressies are now crying and they're so pitiful and these guys can't fight elections and all that. But the fact of the matter is that there is a political party that is a huge, massive advantage as far as money is concerned. That is a massive advantage as far as media is concerned. That is a huge incumbency kind of advantage as far as institutions, public institutions are concerned, especially those that can throttle you. Today, by the way, as we speak, Akhilesh Yadav has been invited by the CBI to have a meeting. Basically, he's been summoned. While opposition members, leaders will be summoned by the ED and the CBI, maybe income tax, who knows, the BJP, despite all of its advantages, will go and start, they'll obviously campaign, they'll do all the good things because there's, BJP people are doodh ke dhule, and all opposition is corrupt. So what do you do? I do think there's one thing that the opposition can do, and we need to do a much better job of that. And that is, we change the game. Because if Modi, Amit Shah and others want to play this game, then the Congress and the other opposition parties that want to defend democracy will have to play by different rules and will have to play asymmetrical politics.
All I was trying to say is that at the moment you're playing by the same rules. Otherwise, Karnataka, would not have happened in the way that it is. You make the point that you need to change the rules. But yes, okay, you don't fully.
But we're playing by the constitution. We're playing by the constitution that is in India. That is our legacy.
Everyone wants to react. Everyone wants to react to what you've said. I'll give Tehseen one sentence, then Dr. Tayal, Anurag, and then Dilip in that order. Tehseen, brief interjection, then Dr. Tayal. Yeah.
No, I completely agree with Salman. BJP has a massive advantage. We know all of that. That's true. But the fact is, and I also agree with him, we need to change the rules. There were so many advantages that, and despite the massive advantage the BJP has, data shows us that Prime Minister Modi himself cannot take the BJP to a guaranteed victory in state elections. He's losing popularity, not in Lok Sabha, but in state. We know the data shows us. Despite a massive advantage, the BJP, except in Uttar Pradesh and few seats in Madhya Pradesh, don't cross 50%. The opposition is very strong. The point is the opposition needs to now, as Salman said, play another game. Let me forget all the advantages the opposition has. Let me ask with one example. 146 MPs thrown out of parliament in the most crude manner and in my opinion, very draconian bills passed. What did the opposition do? The country politically should have come to a standstill. What did the opposition do? You can't blame anybody else. Mock the vice president. They took a chakkar around Jantar Mantar. Think if 146 BJP MPs were kicked out, and Salman will agree with me, Dilip will agree with me, the country would have come to a standstill. हमने जंतर मंतर का एक चक्कर मारा नहीं, mock the vice president. 146 MPs. Think about it.
Okay, Dr. Tayal, the shadow of the Chandigarh mayor elections, and I know you given that the case is in court and all of that, you won't say much about it, but I reference it only to say that it is added to this allegation that comes from the Congress that the BJP will do anything. This is not a fair and square contest of equals anymore. The misuse of the ED and the CBI, Akhilesh Yadav summons by the CBI. How do you respond?
9th May 2013, Congress was in power and the Supreme Court said CBI is a caged parrot. So Mr. Soos can refer to that. So, where he says we come from a legacy, I think the legacy is of a caged parrot. So let's be very clear on that count. So, the party of the emergency is talking about high morals. Let's understand. So today, they're saying it's no longer a level playing field. Yes, it isn't. This is the two-member party which has grown itself on its own strength, and their fantastic leadership has taken a 400 MP party to a 44 MP party. Like I said at the beginning of the of this program, that the answers lie within. Mr. Singhvi has said, जब वो खड़ा करते हैं एक और इस तरह के कैंडिडेट को, तो एक ही संदेश है, they are up to something. So you knew क्या संदेश है, और 2 दिन पहले आप वहां पहुंच के आपने सोचा काम हो जाएगा? Are you playing politics? Mr. Soos said, BJP wants to win all the seats. Yes, हमने तो कहा है कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत करना है. What are you going to do about it? Don't expect arms from us. We're not that charitable. We're not going to give arms to anybody. Come right out. Let's have it out. So to say it's not a level playing field, we created the field for ourselves. Please let us see the alpha in you. What are you going to create? So if your people are not working hard or your leadership is incapable of delivering today, the Gandhi family is looking for a constituency. Amethi he can't go to, Wayanad is gone. I mean, the leader is looking for a constituency, doesn't have a constituency. Open challenge from Smriti Irani, come to Amethi, only contest Amethi, let us see what you are made of. And I bet he will not take it up, he cannot.
Okay, so let's get responses to that.
Yeah, why will the people not leave? People will abandon. The ship is sinking.
Yeah, let's. I think you make a fair point about the self-made journey of the BJP. Tehseen made this point as a Congress supporter that you need to go back to playing the game or play a different game, but you have to play to win. You can't play to be an also ran, and that's the point. Now, Anurag, you wanted to come in, and then I'll give Dilip maybe the last word. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 quick points, Barka. Tehseen mentioned about the changing the rules. You can't change the rules because you're not able to win. You have to first win in this game or do fairly good and then talk about changing the thing. Be there and then change the thing. That's how it works. And
so basically, you have to win to change the rules of the game.
Of course, you have to be there.
Power.
Exactly. Of course, you have. And second, Salman spoke about BJP has media, and Salman. If your high command is not able to give appointment to its leaders, media cannot do anything for it. No, Barkha cannot call Rahul Gandhi ki bhaiya aap Vikramaditya ko appointment do na. So Rahul has to give appointment to Vikramaditya. Barkha cannot do anything for that. So another thing, Dilip mentioned very good point about this display of arrogance. Just adding to that, Barkha, what I feel about Congress is addition to arrogance, it is carelessness. You may feel careless. At least don't show that carelessness. I mean, with Rahul, what I see is you may feel that I don't care about anything. At least don't show in your body language. It demoralizes the whole party cadre. It brings down the fighting spirit in your leaders. When you say, "Ha, bhai, har gaye, we will talk about bada change." Salman talked about hum naya game dhoondenge, hum ye karenge. These are all, be today and talk about today. That is what going to motivate your leaders. If you talk something that your leaders cannot understand on the ground, or Western advisors are advising you, the country cannot do anything for that.
I want to address the elephant in the room with apologies to Salman, who may think I'm being unfair here. But to Dilip, I asked the question. Mr. Gandhi is not in the country. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is said to be working the phone lines right now. The point is, the Congress says Rahul Gandhi is a soft target for the media. So I'm just going to ask one question about this because there's a lot else to discuss. He's not here. Is that a problem? Hang on, Dilip. We need to unmute you. Yeah, now go ahead. Yeah.
I think it is a problem that Rahul Gandhi is not here during a time of crisis. Mm-hmm. You have to have all hands on deck. There are no ifs and buts in politics and political management. Whether it's the corporate management that I do, the legal management that I do, one thing is certain, that when there are situations of this kind, you dump and drop everything and you're with your team leading from the front. That is a big problem. The second problem is that you need to actually be in this game 24/7 into 365. There are no choices. When Salman says that we need to change the game, you first need to play this game 24/7 into 365. And only that will assure you a place at the table where you can start playing. Number 3, win anywhere. You've won X, Y, Z state. Please build out of there, not try and cause confusion and complications even where you've won. The fact is that when you've won a Himachal or when you won a Karnataka, the Congress tends to treat those people as milch cows and wants to just exploit it. I think that even Abhishek Singhvi's nomination in Himachal, though Salman says that you have the right to nominate from anywhere in the country, the fact is that for a tiny state like that, allowing an outsider to come and get the one Rajya Sabha seat there does stink. It causes problems. And then you've created a fertile ground for the possibility of what actually happened yesterday.
Well, those are very strong words, and I was going to end with them, but I have a feeling Salman might want to respond, or Tehseen certainly does. So, Salman, maybe we'll just do another round of quick comments. Salman, go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to address Dilip's point about Rahul Gandhi not being here, and you had to be there 24/7. This man has been walking all over the country for the last I don't know, for the last year. All we've seen him do is pretty much walk, walk, walk. He shattered his knees walking with an idea in his mind, trying to have some outreach that nobody else has done in this country, at least in living memory. So that's as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned. Now, he's not the only leader in the Congress party. Mind you, we have a Congress president against whom actually my candidate was contesting, okay? So we have a Congress president. He's handling it. We have lots of general secretaries. We have lots of senior people in the party who are fighting. You may not see them in front of cameras, but they are working behind the scenes. So it's not as if the party is dead, nobody in the party is working, Rahul Gandhi has gone to Cambridge and the party is finished.
But why
That's
has he
not the way
gone?
the party works.
But why has he gone? It's 1 month to election, 6 weeks to election. Why has he gone?
Because his message is for all Indians, not just inside the country, but also outside the country.
I am saying even outside of this crisis.
No,
right?
Barka, but look, we're talking about him, right? This brings a different type of exposure. But at the same time, the party organization is fighting this. Don't think that Mr. Sukhu is going to, or the Congress party in Himachal is just going to go out without a fight. There will be a fight.
I am only
be a fight
I am only saying that even the Bharat Jodo 2.0, of which there are two opinions on whether it was a good idea, has had to be paused for Mr. Gandhi to go to Cambridge University. I'm not sure I understand what that's adding in terms of his repertoire as a politician. That's the only point I'm trying to make, Salman. And I don't want to put you on the mat. You can't answer for choices he makes. Let's do a quick round of comments. Dr. Tyal, I'll allow you a final comment also. Go ahead.
So
Okay.
I just want to, a very, very short incident that once they say once the rabbit became the king of the jungle. And so, a deer came to him and said, ki mere bacche ko to sher utha ke le gaya, please do something about it. So this rabbit ran all over the place into one burrow, out of another burrow. Half an hour he was on the job. So she said, where's my kid? Says, look, I mean, there's nothing I can do with the lion, but you can't say I didn't try or I didn't work hard enough. So that is the kind of response Salman has given, that he's been walking all over the country, but when the party needed him, he's not there. What does the party then need him for if he's walking all over the country?
Okay, so, Anurag, do you want to add to that? Tehseen, I'm giving you and Dilip just concluding remarks, so that's why. Anurag,
Yes. Barka, Salman told, this is the thing, Barka. Salman said, for the last 1 year, Rahul Gandhi was doing a Padayatra. This is the typical Baba culture, Rahul Baba. 1 year, I mean, Mr. Modi, his opponent, has been doing this yatras as Prachara for 20 years before he became the chief minister. He's still doing for the last 20 years. He'll continue to do that. That's how you fight, and that's how you put your aspirations in front of, 1.5 billion people. If you want to lead, you need to be there 24/7 with the people.
Okay, this debate comes up again and again. Mr. Gandhi has always ignored this criticism and done it, or whatever. He's chosen to do it his own way. But the point that has been made by everybody here is that you have to win before you can change the rules of the game. And I think Dilip said that. You have to play the game before you can change the game. Tehseen.
2 points. I just want to add 1 point. There's a lot that the Congress party needs to introspect on. Number one, everything that the Congress party is doing is not reaping dividends. For example, even leaders who speak in parliament, somebody like a Dr. Tharoor isn't given enough time to speak. These are people who can make, even in Rajya Sabha, can make a huge dent. So there's a perception battle the Congress needs to think about. I'll end with a small personal example of the then organizational general secretary, Ahmed Patel. There was a very important election that I think it was Rahul Ji's candidate, and the chief minister was not very fond. I won't take the state's name, but may not have wanted that candidate to win. And Ahmed Patel was entrusted to making that candidate win. I know for a fact, and I was involved, Ahmed Patel even checked if the pen to vote was the same. So every MLA who came to vote even sent a picture, because one whip can see who the vote is for, and that picture was sent to Ahmed Patel at that point. I'm talking about this. That is the detail Ahmed Patel operated in. Without doubt, the candidate won. The opposition did have the numbers, but the candidate did win. That's how elections are won. The organizational general secretary even checked the pen, the ink. I'll tell you what he said. He said, "वो blue और black में कभी-कभी समझ नहीं आता है, वो देख लेना सही है या नहीं है." He went to that extent. Are we doing it? The jury's out. And if I tweet about this, I will get Barkha, you are biased. Maria Shakil is biased. This one is, and it happened yesterday. Maybe everybody is not wrong. Maybe the fault is within us. Maybe we should pause and look within and see what we can do better. Maybe sometimes that may help.
Okay, Dilip, we're going to attempt to give you the closing word once again, and hope you don't provoke us into another round of comments. Go ahead.
No, I think that we need to recognize that the nature of politics and the nature of politicians has changed. Perhaps it's a reflection of the fact that citizens have changed, and we don't know. Meaning, we are constantly harking back to a different time. Maybe today's voter is much more forgiving of fungible politics and fungible values. I don't know. Let's watch.
Yeah, I think that is indeed a thought, that there's this kind of cynicism कि ये तो सभी करते हैं, about a lot of things that were once considered amoral. I won't say immoral, but amoral. There is a perception that everybody does the same when they have a chance to do it, and therefore people aren't responding to this kind of cross-voting with the kind of moral outrage. They're instead watching this as a political thriller, as a House of Cards moment. Kiski sarkar giregi, kiski sarkar bachegi. And I know, Salman, that may cause you grief, but I think there is a churn. There's a churn. It's a little bit like media. I don't like a lot of changes in media, but I can't just sit there lamenting all day. I have to still get out there every day and do the best I can and try and read the mood of the market and adapt to it the best I can without changing the core of me, right? Because if I'm not there, what good is it going to be for me to say every day, oh, the 9 o'clock news on TV is shit? So just leaving you with an analogy, you've got to play the game before you can change the game. And I think you've got to play 24/7. And therefore, I think apart from everything else, Mr. Gandhi being away at this point is really curious. And that's me using a very considered word. Thank you very much, Anurag, Dr. Tayal, Dilip Cherian, Salman Soz, and Tehseen Poonawala. And to our audience, thank you so much. Take care and see you soon. Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.